What's going on, guys? JFC here, boys. It is Ultimate Team of the Season Day, plus award winners. We still aren't exactly sure what is going to happen. We have some more information regarding that, though, that's honestly just a little more confusing than anything. So we're going to go and talk about what could happen or what could not happen, how that'll affect the market and stuff like that. If you did not see my reaction to the season stuff, I actually uploaded that yesterday. I uploaded it a little bit later yesterday, so if you missed it, it's in the last video. One thing that's weird, by the way, remember the draft objectives? They didn't show an expiry date, and they're just gone now all of a sudden. So the draft objectives actually left. It's not in milestones, by the way. It's not here. They actually left before the draft token SBC left also. So I don't know what is going on there. I don't know if they meant to do that, but I didn't finish that like draft objective. I didn't think there was an expiry date. It didn't say there was one. And then we have the draft token upgrade still available. You do it 2 more times here. So I don't know what they were thinking with that. But anyway, we got a Chiesa SBC today, and the stats look great. 99 pace, 92 shooting, 92 passing also. Dribbling also fantastic. 99 stamina. You can't ask for too much more. Outside foot is great too. Just the 4-4 is a little underwhelming. You know, I think that's like the bare minimum of what's usable now, and a lot of cards have more than 4-4, and you probably are more inclined to use them. If you tried Chiesa, though, let me know if you like him. He does seem like his stats might actually just be good enough to the point that the 4-4 might not be as, you know, big of a deal. Got a 90+ icon player pick, 1 of 3 prime team of the year FUT birthday trophy Titans icon players. Now, the funny thing about this is that if you actually, you know, that's 1 of 3, right? And then if you go to objectives and go to the seasons and you go all the way to the last level, the level 40 reward, you gotta scroll over forever, and that's like the same thing. It's 1 of 4 instead of 1 of 3, and you can get primes in it. It's a little, that level 40 reward is like pretty underwhelming, honestly. Everyone's taking the 2585. I mean, literally, that's like the only option. Del Piero does have 5-5, like he is a good card, but you know, 89 pace when we're in 25, 30 days from now, when shapeshifters have all like high 90s pace, it's just not going to cut it as much, right? So you really are like, only one option is really worth it here, which I do like that last season there was like a lot of good options in each of these categories, and now it's really just Toni Kroos. The Toni Kroos plus a 3084 plus, that's a genuine like possible decision. Toni Kroos 5-5. I mean, that's just an insane card. But the rest of these, like, the decision is just kind of pretty easy. Like the Park Ji-sung, So I don't know. Definitely not as good as last season, but I still think it's good. And then once again, where's Eusebio? If you guys don't want to deal with trading at all, you guys can go to the link in my description. Go to u7buy.com. They're a fast and very, very reliable coin service. The 5% tax is also covered. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. Thank you to U7buy for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to it. All right, first and foremost, we do have we have a couple leaked end of an era SBCs. We know this week is going to be end of an era week. If you're not familiar, we're going to have, I think they said every single day, an end of an era SBC. And we do have Sergio Busquets leaked, so that is very nice to see. Really hoping to give him high pace. We need a good Busquets card in FIFA. We never really have them ever. And if he gets an icon card, you know it's not going to be usable. So I saw somebody in the comments yesterday say, put Alba and Busquets in the same SBC. That makes too much sense, honestly. That's such a good idea. They're not going to do it. But yeah, no Alba leaked yet. But we have Jonas Hector is the other one that has been leaked. So I think right now we have Firmino, Milner, Busquets, and Hector. That's 4. If it's a week, it's going to be 6 or 7, you would say. Benzema and Ibra, I mean, they have to be like coming up next if we're going to see them. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to see a couple of the big boys, which sucks. So here's the loading screen right now. So we can zoom in a little bit so we can still see the tweet here. It shows Holland and Holland. So it's the same player, just with 2 different cards. And that doesn't mean the purple is going to substitute the blue. It says that they're both gonna be out at the same time, possibly. I'm assuming that's what that means. So like the Penta said here, very interested to find out what EA do with award winners versus the TOTS version. SBCs, objectives higher rated than TOTS, but also in packs. I have no idea what they're gonna do with this, and I'm really hoping it's something innovative. This is what I was talking about yesterday in my video, that like I'm hoping there's something that we can't predict, right? It wouldn't make sense for them to just come out and be the same rating and be 2 different cards. It seems kind of pointless, but also you don't think they'd want to release them as an SBC because they're just so good. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I'm really hoping it's something really cool, and we get to talk about that when it drops. Yeah, I think today is going to be one of the most interesting content days in a while, because I don't know what any of this means. I don't think anybody knows what any of this stuff means. Nikki still says here, you know, no SBC/objective information for these cards. He says they'll be the same, you know, rating. So I don't think people really know. This is what he was saying before this loading screen came out, that like purples might substitute the blues, but then this loading screen kind of, you know, maybe disproves that. So I don't think anybody just really knows yet. Also, guys, by the way, champs rewards cards did update, and we do have the Ultimate TOTS 3 players tradable pack and untradeable packs back. So rank 4 for 14 wins is the untradeable, rank 3 is where the tradables begin, and then rank 2, rank 1. It's the same rewards we've been seeing, it just has Ultimate Team of the Seasons. And the player picks you can't tell yet because the technology is just far too difficult. And yeah, so it looks like everything's pretty much the same as it was for this weekend league. We got a new card design added here, and you might say, well, that looks the exact same as the Shapeshifters card design, and there's just one little difference. Here's the other card. If you spotted it, your eye is much better than mine. I did not spot this until like 3 minutes of looking. If we go back to the other one, here it is again. It's this little crown on top here. This is pretty much the only difference. So maybe this is going to be like that hero or icon shapeshifter design, right? So I don't know what that means, but we'll probably hear more as the leaks in the next week go on. We got the rest of World Team of the Season on the way this weekend. We got the full team leaked as well already. We had that one SBC that we don't see here, so that was leaked yesterday. It was the Wrexham player, and then here is the rest of the team. The stats are not guaranteed, but just look at the players here. These are all the players on the way. Unfortunately, like, the reality of this rest of World Team of the Season is you're not going to link any of these cards to anybody at all. This is the one, like, the major flaw with the chem system is you cannot hide anybody in chemistry. And I think one way to help with this next year is allowing you to have one player that does not, like, need chemistry, right? So you can put one player in your team that guarantees 3 chem. I think that would be cool because Mikatadze, as you say his name, Georgian and League 2, I mean, you have no hope. Swedish, Danish League, Australia, all these guys is just so hard to link in your team, and they might have cracked out cards. And we've seen every lower league have a couple cards that are really, really good in them, but especially in the rest of the world, you are not going to be able to link these guys. So hoping we get a change to that next year, so they can build off that new chem system. I do like the chem system. I think there are some certain things that are much better about it, and there are certain things that are definitely worse. So I think if they can fix it for next year, then we're good. If they keep it the same, though, then we're not good. Now, the only award winner leaked is that Holland card, and we are pretty certain that Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, Jude Bellingham, there's a few that we're like pretty certain of, but we don't know all of them for sure. And the question remains for a lot of you who have a lot of coins right now, and you say you have a lot of like good players in your team that might be tradable. The question remains to be seen if your cards are going to be majorly affected by this release or not. And right now, because we're 13, 14 hours before Ultimate Team of the Season, you're seeing panic. Renato Sanchez is 1.99. He's finally under 2 million there for the first time for the entire team of the season. Jonathan David's 406. He just continues to drop down. Even Mbappe, Mbappe's 8.3. You might not think that that's down at all, but it's like 2 million coins down. Ronaldo's 5.2. He was more expensive than that as well. Kvaratskhelia is under 2 million by far now. We're seeing panic, and honestly, I think it's well deserved because I think even if the pack weight is bad, we're gonna see more added supply. I think it's going to bring down the prices of these cards, and with the award winners possibly, I think there's a 2% chance, maybe even less, that there's some possible way to earn 1 or 2 of them. We have to think about all the possibilities here. If that's the case, then yeah, those cards are gonna absolutely die in price. Now we're trying to think of every single outcome that can happen here. Basically, every outcome apart from we opened up Holland's TOTS here. The only outcome where Holland ends up rebounding from this point and goes higher is if the purple card does substitute for the team of the season. And that loading screen was just like kind of bad information or portrayed wrongly. That's the only real way things are gonna like really rebound, because even if the purple card comes out and the blue card both come out and they're both in packs, they both have the same stats, which would be stupid, but they could do that. At that point, I still think you're gonna see more supply of this Holland card, and I don't see him going up in price. So I don't know. There's a lot of things to think about. The market's just gonna keep dropping unless something crazy happens. But for cards not in the Ultimate Team of the Season, I actually do think there's gonna be a decent little buy time after Ultimate drops. I think that this weekend league, right, you're about to see people really go hard for weekend league rewards. I do think there is some room if you're certain and you're very confident the card you have is not going to be an Ultimate Team of the Season. I think cards will do well. I do think so. I think you want to be out of them by like Sunday, but I think cards will do well. I think it's one of the last weekends you're going to see like things rise up for a weekend league, really. Probably of the entire FIFA cycle, if we are being honest here. And I want to talk quickly about this team right now. now, I actually was using a lone Ronaldinho at this left mid slot. So think of this as Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho and Alaouaron are flipped, right? And it's using a 3 at the back. I was trying to like figure out a 3 at the back, just the most attacking 3 at the back I could possibly make. My left and right men's not on comeback on defense. I was trying like to make a 3 back that genuinely was more of a 3 back and not, you know, the rattiest shit ever, which you can't really escape from. But I'm gonna probably make a custom tactics video on this because the attack in this formation is just like you're selling out for goals, and you can score a lot of goals because in this game obviously finishing is very good. So you can score a lot of goals in this game, and I went 10-0 in qualifying with this team, and I probably conceded twice or so a game. Like I was conceding a lot of goals, and on average conceding twice in a game every game is pretty bad. But I was scoring so many goals it really didn't matter too much. So I might make a video on this custom tactics over this weekend. I try them out a little bit further, maybe put them in elite division and see if they're viable. We'll have to wait and see, but if you're interested, let me know, and I love you all. See you next video very, very soon. Peace.